Okay, so as we discuss the WebSphere, entire WebSphere tool, we divide as a 10 chapters and we had a brief discussion about the 4 chapters, right? And once again I am saying the first 4 chapter, architecture, topology and terminology, installation and system management. Architecture is purely theoretical discussion about the structure of the entire components and request flow and the relation between user client to database and all the things. And topology and terminology and installation, we are going to club them and we are going to discuss. We are going to give the explanation about those combined of second and third chapter. And fourth chapter, as I said, it's a very precious of entire 10 chapters, which is going to purely related with how the folder structure, how the important files in which structure they are going to be formed, how they are going to be link up, how they are going to be related when the request came, and all the things is going to discuss in system management. So 4 chapters, maybe it's a 40%, all these 4 chapters needed a continuous repo, and remaining 6 chapters are individual chapters which is not going to be linked, and individually we can learn by jungle way. Okay, so now let us discuss about remaining 6 chapters, brief discussion. Okay, so the 5th chapter is SIB and 6th chapter is clustering and 7th chapter is security, which the WebSphere is very strong. 8th is performance, 9th is troubleshoot, and 10th is class loaders. SIB, service integrated bus. So this SIB concept is almost integrated bus is going to be interact, which is when we talked about the flavors of WebSphere, we discuss about the MQ, messaging queue and messaging broker, and in that also we will see the queues and topics and all those things which is related with the bus, and the process server which is migrated as a BPM, business process management, that is purely dependent on the bus concept. So we will see the overview of SIB here in VAS itself, and next in the remaining 6 chapters, very important and very important and very logical things is these two, 6th and 7th chapter, clustering and security. So coming for the clustering point of view, what is a clustering? What do you mean by cluster? So physically there is a server, but logically it's going to be different. There is nothing but clustering. I mean, a cluster is a concept where we can see a very important concept. Clustering is nothing but logical grouping of different application server. So we have a different types of application server. Physically they are different, but logically we are going to group them. That is nothing but clustering. Okay, so logical grouping of application servers, and as of now we are saying as application server, but generally remember this is very important concept. What I am saying, the application server which we are saying now, the application server which we are administrating, the application server which contain the application, this application server is not at all a physical server. A very logical thing which you have to be remember. This application server is not at all a physical server. It is a logical server. It is a logical server formed because of WebSphere installation. After installation of WebSphere, we are going to create a profiles. In the profile we will get the nodes, under the nodes we are going to create these application servers. So one word is, in one word the clarity is, this application server which we are administrating is not at all a physical one. It is a logical one. That's why in the real time we are going to call them as a JVM, Java Virtual Machine. It's not a physical machine, JVM. All those application servers we are going to call them as a JVM. We are going to call them as a JVM, Java Virtual Machine. Okay, that concept we will discuss very clearly later, but as a point when I am discussing about clustering, just remember that the application server is not a physical one, it is a logically created one under a node. Okay, then what do you mean by cluster? So logically you have a different JVMs, you have a two different physical application servers as of now. Okay, but logically you are going to group them. That means for clustering point of view, you have an application server 1 and you have one more application server 2. Physically you have two servers physically and you are going to group them logically and you are going to say it as a cluster 1. There is nothing but cluster. So what is the need of a clustering? What is the purpose of it? What is the use of a clustering concept? Workload management and high availability. The two concepts of clustering we can say workload management, WLM, and HA is nothing but clustering, we can say that. So workload management, how it's going to be the load, the work of the load is going to be managed. Suppose from the Internet Explorer, that means user client, you send 10 requests. Because of logically you grouped them, right? So 5 requests will be taken care by AS1, remaining 5 will be taken care by AS2. So the workload is managed because of this clustering, that is nothing but workload management. Then suppose if AS1 is failed, the all 5 will be routed to AS2, high availability. That is the main concept of clustering and very logical one, and we have two different types of clusters, vertical cluster and horizontal cluster. What is the difference, and we are going to see how the workload management is happening, what is the session affinity, session persistence, and how the request flow will be managed at the plugin cfg.xml file where the web server and application server is mapped. So when the request is coming from the user client, how it's reached the database and how the load is going to be managed at the cluster point of view, JVM point of view, and plugin cfg.xml file point of view, and we are going to use the load managers separately, and it's a different concept and very interesting and very important one after system management. Okay, that is the clustering part. And now we are going to discuss about the security. Security. So WebSphere is strong at security, providing more security for the application. So main part of the security is we can say two parts: global security, SSL. So global security, how we'll give the security for the application point of view, user point of view, login point of view, all those will be covered with the global security things. And next one is SSL, secure socket layer, which is going to be a certificate which we are going to create, renewal for 1 year, like that. So we are going to discuss very clearly about security, how it's going to provide for the users, how it's going to be provide for administration of the console, which is nothing but a user client, right, and users, and as well as each and everything we are going to discuss in the security chapter. And the next chapter is performance. Here this clustering is practical one, security is practical one, and before system management, fourth one is practical one, third one installation is practical one. So remaining all either performance or troubleshoot or class loaders, architecture, topology and terminology, remaining, and SAB also practical one. Okay, so remaining 5 is theoretical discussion, 5 practical oriented, 5 chapters theoretical oriented. very less of practical point will be there with the theoretical chapters. So majorly 5 chapters is purely practical. In this 10, if you see, 5 is practical, 5 is theoretical. So the practical one is installation, SIB, clustering, security, and SIB, clustering, security, and system management. Those are going to be the practical, remaining all are theoretical. So in this performance chapter, we will see how to tune the parameters of JVM, or how to increase the performance of the application if it is decreased, and what are the, how to take the heap dumps, thread dumps, and how to analyze them, and we will see how the memory leaks are there, and lot of things theoretical and as well little practical will be there in performance chapter. And next chapter is troubleshoot, where we will see the logs, log rotation, and analyzing the logs and taking the backup of logs, and what are the different types of logs we have, how to troubleshoot if the issue came, which logs we have to check, and where we have to find out whether the point is at the web server level or plugin level or JVM level, and what are the different types of logs we have, which log we have to analyze for what issues, what are the different numbers, 404 error, 405, whatever the numbers, which number indicates what type of issues, and what content will be there in the logs, and each and everything we are going to discuss in troubleshoot part. Class loaders is a pure theoretical one. Java is a combination of classes, how those classes are going to be loaded into the JVM, that is nothing but class loader chapter. So this is the thing which I just given you a brief explanation of all 10 chapters. The WebSphere is divided as a 10 chapters. In the 10 chapters, each and every chapter I given the brief explanation, and the complete explanation will be start with the session by session. Okay. Now let us come back again one point. So now you are clear as of now we discuss very clearly what is WebSphere, what is you are going to administrate. Very clear thing, very clear thing. You are going to administrate a server. The server is very simple application server. So you are going to do the application server administration, and for this application server administration we are using WebSphere, and the entire WebSphere is very strong with the security, and the competitors for this is WebLogic and JBoss, and we seen the difference of those. And then the entire WebSphere is a tool, and it has a different flavors, MQ, MB, portal, process, e-commerce, and then the base of this one is WebSphere application server administration, VAS administration. The entire VAS is divided as a 10 chapters, and we had a brief discussion of the 10 chapters. Now the basic question is very clear. You are going to do a administration of a application server. Okay, what will be there in application server? Application. So you are going to take care of J2E application, Java 2 Enterprise Edition developed application. You are going to do the administration. Okay. So then the application, we are talking about the application. What is that application? J2E application, Java 2 Enterprise Edition language developed with Java 2 Enterprise Edition language, Java application, right? How that application is going to be? That's the first point. So the application will be developed by developers. That's not your part. It's very clear. That's not your part. Development, they will use the development language, and they developed with hundreds, thousands of the programs, right? Once the thousands of the programs is created, once the application is ready, what they will do? They will combine all the thousands and hundreds of the program, and they will make it as a single file. They will make it as a single file. That single file, suppose online transaction is the application. You want to transfer money from your account to other account. The client is ICICI Bank. In that scenario, developers developed an application called online transaction. So for that they prepared hundreds of programs, and they will club them, and they will give it to you as a single file, online transaction .ear file, EAR file, enterprise archive file. That is the file which they once they build online transaction.er file, the final destination of developers is done. Take that online transaction.er file from the developers, deploy it into the application server. That is your first step as a VAS administrator, what you are going to do. So, online transaction.er file you deployed into the application server. So, in architecture first chapter we are going to see what will be the major components of this online transaction.er file. We will see what are the major components of application server, okay, and how the request will happen and everything we are going to discuss. So, now one thing, you are going to administrate in a single word as a VAS admin. Your responsibility is you are going to take care of a J2E application. That's it. So, deployment is the first step. Once the deployment is done, what you will do? You are going to check the performance of the application. You are going to do the troubleshoot of the application. You are going to create a security for that application. You are going to create SSL certifications for that. You are going to create, you are going to tune the parameters if the performance is little bit changed, and you are going to do the connection this application server, which the application is, you are going to connect with the database, and you will make that the transaction from the Internet Explorer, that means from the user client to database, the request flow is happening healthily. Okay, that's the thing. And moreover, now here as of now we are saying application server, application server, application server, application server, right? Application server administration. For this application server, before we have, see what is the purpose of application server? In the middle it is going to take care of J2 application. Throughout world lakhs and crores of the applications are there. All applications are in track. Everybody is able to access those applications. How it is happening? 1000% sure all those crores of the applications are deployed into the server. That application server is managing by a tool, whether WebSphere or WebLogic or JBus, whatever it may be, and administration by the admins, right? So, what about before application server? Application server come into the picture very clearly from 99 to 2000, right? What about the before that? Before of application server, what we have is a web server. We have web server. Before application server, we have web server. So, we can say the web server is a, in mathematically we can say one word, application server is a superset, web server is a subset of application server. So, that means mathematically what do we mean by superset and subset? Superset will do everything, subset will do a part of superset. So, application server will do everything. That means application server is going to take care of online transaction.er file. Then what about web server? Web server is not going to take care of entire ER file. It is going to take care of part of it, that is nothing but online transaction.var file. Understand? That means before 99 or before application server, when web server is in the picture, we have web module developed Java applications. Once the EJBs come into the picture, once the application is moved from web module to EJB module, from var to ER file, application server come into the picture. Okay, we have different types of web servers related with in the market, Tomcat or whatever it may be, and IHS related with WebSphere, and we have different that we will discuss very clearly in the architecture chapter. But basic difference between web server and application server is application server is going to take care of ER file, web server is going to take care of web file, var file, right, and web server is going to configure with application server, web server is going to configure with application server as external. To make a relation between application server and web server, we are going to install application server and web server. To make a relation, we are going to install a software called plugin. The main configuration file of plugin is plugin cfg.xml file. So, once the plugin is installed, web server and application server are mapped. Okay. So, application server is superset, web server is subset, mathematically what I am saying. He is bigger than him. Okay. And now, once the configuration is done, if the request flow is coming from the user client, where it will go first? First it will go for web server. First it will go for web server. What do you mean by that? So, if the request needed only static page, that means related with the where, web server itself is going to be respond. If the request is a dynamic, then what will happen? Web server will send it to the application server. What is happening? Because of you configured a web server as an external support to the application server, what is happening now? Workload is reducing for application server. Suppose 10 requests coming from the user client, in that 4 requests are related with the static content, then what is going to happen? Web server itself is going to respond for it. Remaining 6 only will reach the application server. So, workload on application server is reducing because of external web server. Got it right? And what is the another advantage of web server to if you configure with the application server is all the request flow is happening with the web server. All the request flow is happening with the web server. So, it is not hitting directly application server. That means, it is more secured with compare of before if it is not there with the application server. So, this is the brief idea of web server. We will get more clarity in architecture chapter, that is for sure, but I think you got the point. What is application server and what is web server? Why we need to configure web server externally to the application server? How we will configure by using the plugin software? And the advantages of this external web server is workload is going to be reduced for application server, and it is more secure with compare of individually being as a application server. Okay. Now, so WAS, WebSphere, there is a versions, right? We in the installation chapter we discussed WebSphere. We have 2 types of softwares, and the 2 types of softwares is base or Express and ND package, right? The difference between base and Express is very simple. We are not going to talk more on Express, we are going to talk only as a base, because the only difference is with license. If it is Express license, only I think 4 or 5 systems you can install. If it is base, you can install n number of systems. That is why we are not going to talk more on Express. We have 2 types of softwares, base and ND software. Okay. So, with this software, we have base software and ND. Now, I am going to discuss about the versions of the WebSphere, WAS, WebSphere application server software. This is the software. This software versions. See, version 1 onwards it is started, but as of the thing, version 5 is in the market now. So, but now the people, the clients are using, you should know from version 5 what is the WebSphere thing, but version 6, V7, V8 and V9 is the latest one, and Liberty profile is going to be individually one more version like it's came now, but whatever it may be, it was going to be like V5, V6, V7, V8 and V9. And in this V5, after V5 5.1, they release version 6.0 by 6.1, very grand success version of the WebSphere, which made the heights of WebSphere with more security, with more comfortable of the clients, and it's rock like anything the market. After that they release version 7, then version 8, and now it is version 9. The main difference I am saying, the version to version, I said version 6 is the grand success one. Version to version, the difference is nothing more than profiles, nothing more than profiles, nothing more than profiles. So, version 6 has 3 profiles, then version 7 some more profile is there, version 8 some more, version 9 some more, but grand success one is version 6. We will discuss very clearly about version, profiles and each and everything in with the in the installation part. Okay now.